How,
Well, we're on then.
how are you?
Well, I'm I think I'm remarkably well. I'm not totally well, but climbing the mountain. I'm close to the top and I'll get there.
Yes, you will. There is no doubt in my mind.
I'm on the way.
So, yeah, you've had a little journey,
Oh, oh, did I?
a
Yeah.
little healing journey. And so I think that would be a really lovely thing for us to talk about because so many of us have our own healing journeys. And it's really easy to get impatient or frustrated, all the things, or just want the one pill that's gonna, fix everything.
Or depend on somebody else to fix us.
Right,
You know,
right.
and that's a we need the other people to help fix us, but we don't need to depend entirely on that because then we get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's happening then is that person is thinking about how they would be fixing themselves, probably, if they were in this situation. So,
Right. Well, so can you walk us through a little bit what your process has been?
well, okay, I will do that. 3 weeks ago, uh, yesterday,
Okay.
I was riding my tricycle in my uh, regular route, which is up and down uh, my walkway here, my driveway, and I know where it is, and I know how to do this, and I love doing it because that day, the sun was shining on my back, and the breeze was blowing, and I was just having a really good time. And when I came to the end of the uh, driveway and I turned my tricycle to come back up the driveway, it somehow got tangled up in a rut in the road. It had been raining, so it's probably that. But what happened was it got stuck and the wheel flipped and actually threw me into the air
Ugh,
and onto my back into the yard.
wow.
So I landed about, oh, uh, 10 feet away, maybe something like that, on my right side, no, my left side, and got up and got back on the tricycle and rode it up into my driveway. And from then on, I have not been able to ride it. I mean, from then, by the time I got up into my um, carport, since then, it's I have been unable to really do the thing that I'd been doing before.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've learned to do some things that I didn't know how to do before. What turns out is that I fractured 3 ribs, and at one point, the X-ray showed that I had one rib floating, but then the next X-ray showed that I'm not. So it's been that kind of a story. But when you have broken ribs, it's hard to breathe,
Mm-hmm.
and particularly not just that, but I hit my sternum too.
Ah,
So when I hit my sternum, it injured my esophagus. So I was having trouble breathing also. So the process has been not so much. Well, yes, it has been. It's monitoring the pain, which has been gradually getting better and now is almost gone. But also my breathing, because the um, injury to the sternum caused an injury to my esophagus, which made it difficult for me to breathe. And that caused mucus in the back of my throat, and I'd get so that I could
Mm.
almost breathe, but not quite, and then I could breathe. And so it was that kind of a process.
Ugh.
So it was a matter of actually paying attention to my body. I had wanted to keep on going with the Instagram, but I knew my body said, no, you can't. You can't do that. So I had to stop. But now I can. And so I'm so pleased with the fact that in the process of listening to my body, I was able to uh, actually um, feel and understand what it is that's going on, and how my reality is what's happening with my body.
Mm.
And in the process of doing that, the healing continues, because as I begin to understand what's happening, my body is doing what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I have to pay attention to taking drinks of water when I need to. And one of the things that I really had to do was pay attention to my sleeping.
Mm.
I have slept 3 nights straight through, the last 3 nights straight through, which means
Great.
I go to bed at 8 and I wake up at 6, or yeah. And this morning I thought it was probably about 3 o'clock in the morning when I said to John, what time is it? And he said 6 o'clock. I couldn't believe it.
Now-
I
And were
had,
you finding it hard to sleep before because of the pain?
oh, because of the pain, because of the
Mm.
breathing, because of the, um, uh, so, well, when you can't breathe, it's like, oh my,
Yeah,
now what? You
right.
know, uh, it's a scary time, and you
Mhm.
have to get hold of that scary time and say, no, you can breathe, you will breathe, and now take it easy. You know what you're doing. Now breathe, and then and you breathe.
Hmm. Where do you, I mean, a lot of people in that situation would absolutely panic. I mean, the not being able to breathe is so
Oh,
scary.
it really is scary. It pushes an anxious button that you don't know you have.
Right. And so, what did you do in those moments when
In
that
those in
anxiety?
those in those moments, I said, yeah, yes, but you will breathe. You didn't then, but you will breathe. You will. You can. If we, you know, and we worked it through until you know, oh, okay, I got you. I
Wow.
got you. So,
Wow. So impressive. I mean, I just know, that once that anxiety kicks in and that fear kicks in, it's can be really tricky to get a hold of your mind, get a hold of the situation.
Yeah, because you get stuck in it.
Right.
If you if,
Right.
if you allow yourself to get stuck in it, say this is my last breath or some such thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take your last breath. But that's not where I was going. I had work to do, and so it couldn't be my last breath. It had to be my next breath, and my next breath, and my next. There it is, you know.
Do you think, well, it seems to me that, you know, we've talked about that idea of sort of, I don't even know how I want to say this, like paying it forward with your health, like paying attention before the crisis hits, so that when the crisis hits, you've already done some back work. You've already done some, so that you have that capacity to have that conversation with yourself. But if you've never done any work like that prior, there's nothing, there's no library to pull from in those times when you need it.
Katie, you're right. I think that's a really important thing. If we can understand that there may come a time when we're um, thrown like a bucking bronco off of a bucking horse, and you land flat on your side on your back, you're going to have to in really call on some deep inside yourself
Mm.
that says you can breathe, you must breathe, you will breathe, and get yourself going that way so that you're not accepting the fact that it's your last breath.
Mm. Yeah, and I think so many of us, because it's so easy to take our health for granted. And I mean, all the functions that happen second by second by second that keep us moving through this world, having these conversations, it's so easy to take those for granted until the time comes when you find it hard to breathe. You find it hard, all of those things. So finding some way to stay inspired, to pay attention.
And at one point, I had the AIDS from the hospital. I was in the hospital for two different times, but then I had the AIDS from the hospital. The uh, uh, people, the ones that are helping with the breathing and walking and that kind of thing, come over to my house and take my blood pressure and that kind of thing. At
Mm-hmm.
one point, they took my blood pressure, and it was so low. I forget what it was, but it was so low that was a panic point. It was like, oh man, that's really. And I had to grab hold of myself and say, no, you're going to be all right now. Come on, get that blood pressure up.
Mm-hmm.
And it came up. And so, one of the beautiful things about this whole experience is the lessons that I learned about talking to and with my body,
Mm.
speaking to it and saying, you're not, no, it's not, you're not going to stay that low. Come on now. And the blood pressure came up. And now I did have to do some things to do it. I had to do some specific breathing I and that sort of thing. So we have, I have little breathing apparatus here that the hospital sent me home with, and I'm using that. So these are things that are available to us when we uh, are in this place of jeopardy. You know, that's what it is. You know, we've jeopardized our our health, and we now are reclaiming our health. And so, in the process, I'm learning stuff about myself that I didn't quite. I didn't have the actual um verbiage, the actual words to connect with my body. So I had to find them, and
Mm,
and they're there. That's what's so beautiful. And it's not anybody else's body. This is my body, and I learned the words that they needed to be here so that my body would understand. So the fact that I've been in communication with my body before helps.
right, right. And oh, what was I just going to ask you? Have you um have you been having any dreams? Have you been having any insights about why this happened or what, specifically? Oh, I know what my question was, but what's,
Yes, yes, some that are so profound that they're uh, difficult to talk about.
okay.
But I will talk about this one. In 1962, uh, we, with a group of uh, about 40 people, went to Egypt, and Bill McGarry and I and seven people. There were seven people of us who climbed the Great Pyramid. I was able to climb because I've I climbed in the Himalayas, but the other seven people were people who knew how to climb. So we climbed the Great Pyramid, and we stood up, and I can remember this very clearly as the seven of us standing on top of the Great Pyramid and looking out over the sandy desert and seeing into the uh, into the the oh, what am into the, as far as we could get, we could see into the vast,
Horizon.
uh, yeah. And there was a soft breeze blowing, and it was very, very lovely. And we did I don't remember what the ceremony was, but the ceremony had to do with sending peace and love out over this distance
Well,
of the- out into the edge of the world, you know. And so, and that was in 1962. Well, now here I was, and at one point I had a dream that I was there again. I was at the top of the pyramid. Somehow I had gotten up to the top of the pyramid, and this time there wasn't that soft, gentle breeze. There was huge gusts of wind.
hmm,
And I realized that what those were places of war on our planet, that there was fighting going on and war going on. And so there were seven, again, in my dream experience, there were seven of us on that pyramid again. And I don't know that it was the same seven. Well, I don't know who was seven, but there were seven of us. And we sent healing and love out to um, E- Egypt, uh, um, um, the
Gaza
The
and
Gaza Strip.
Ukraine.
Egypt, Basel,
Gaza and Ukraine.
and Ukraine. So we sent specific healing and peaceful, loving energy to those areas. Now, how that's going or what's happened with it, I don't know. But for me, that was for all of the amazing love that I'm feeling coming from people all around the world for my healing. I could say, and carry it on into at least these three places.
Mm.
So, in that way, the healing, um, loving energy can bring peace on earth, goodwill towards men.
Hmm.
Do you know the song, We've a Story to Tell to the Nations? It's a song.
No.
Well, I wish I could sing properly, but let me try this. Anyway, accept my singing. We've a story to tell to the nations that will turn their uh, hearts to the light. A story of truth and gladness, a story of peace and light, a story of peace and light. For the darkness shall turn to the dawning, and the dawning to noonday bright, and God's great kingdom shall come on earth, the kingdom of love and light. So I really could sing better than that, but that's as good as I can do
I
this time.
That was pretty remarkable, and that's pretty good. That's great for your lungs.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Well, that's amazing. That whole dream experience. How amazing. And just to let that love, like you were saying, taking that energy in, and rather than holding it in, creating that movement through your body out to the world.
Out to the world and to the distance as as far as it could go,
Mm-hmm.
clear out. Like when I was a little kid and would climb out on that limb and try to see the edge of the world,
Yep.
But this is that kind of an experience because I have so many people around this world who are sending love and healing,
Mm.
and it's amazing waves of love and healing that come through me and now at least to those three places
Mm-hmm.
and more and more.
Well, that's just, goes to I mean, that's just who you are and how you move through the world is always this seeking, knowing that we help ourselves, we take what's coming our way, but then we continually create the cycle so that it keeps moving and really putting it out and putting it forward, which then amplifies it for everyone.
Because the earth needs it.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Earth needs it, and the creatures on the earth need it, but we human beings need it. We need each other.
Hmm? So my next question is the one I forgot earlier, and I probably know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Um, so in the moment when you first got bucked off your bike
Yeah.
and realized maybe later that evening that, oh wow, I maybe that was maybe I've done something a little here, when you finally felt the pain of the ribs coming in and realized that they were broken and your breathing was a little bit challenged, did you ever slip into the moment of, I want to say, negative self-talk, or being a victim to the circumstance, or feeling sorry for yourself, or
Oh yeah,
all
because
those?
the first thing that hit me was not again. You
Mm,
because I had broken these four ribs, not these specific ribs, but four ribs 4 years ago,
mm,
and I, so my first response to, oh no, not
mm,
again, not again. But then I grabbed hold of myself and said, well, if it is, it is. Let's get healing process going.
right. Because I think that's such an easy place for people, and I'm sure you've seen that in your practice over your many years of, people feeling, becoming a victim to the circumstance, and feeling sorry for themselves. And in that, it makes it even harder to listen, hear the voice of the inner physician, the physician within, or to heal.
Well, and then when the diagnosis comes through
Mm-hmm.
and validates it,
Yeah.
and then you remember the whole process before, but you also have to not get stuck in the process, but realize that you got through it before.
Mm,
You lived through it. You didn't get over it. You lived through it because you healed.
mm-hmm.
And so uh, I just had to keep reminding myself and my body that we could do this. We've done it before. And, there was a song we sang when we were kids. We did it before and we can do it again. you know, it's a matter of letting yourself know that just because you did it before doesn't mean that you're going to get stuck in it. It means
Mm,
you already learned how and you can keep doing it.
mm-hmm. And so, did you do any extra? I know you talked about using arnica, that you were using arnica a bunch. Uh, Anything else that you were doing that, maybe wasn't the most conventional thing?
Well,
Um,
my daughter is studying uh, aging. And so she's a physician. So she's given me some vitamins and some other things. I'm not sure what she has given me, but they are helping the aging person age into health.
oh, well, do tell what those are.
I don't know. Well, but you can find out. There are physicians who are studying aging. And as
Mm,
they're studying aging, they're studying the things that help people age into health.
mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I can't prescribe over the phone or over this. I mean, that's not allowed.
right,
But but you can find physicians who are doing that if that's what you're looking for.
right.
Or you can find physicians who actually are your physicians who know how to do this.
Somebody is saying Nuchido Time Plus and Primadine are big in the UK and the US at this moment.
Absolutely. I mean, things that are available to you. That's what you have to look for.
Right.
You look for who and what are available to you, and then pay attention to your body. What how what kind of work walking can I do? What kind of uh, exercise can my body do? What kind of breathing can I do? You know, pay attention to your body and let it let you know what
Mm.
it needs to do. And if it needs to breathe, then breathe.
Well, so would you say you're at 90% at this stage of the game, or where would you say you are in your healing process?
Uh, uh,
Or does say?
I'm climbing the mountain. I'm not at the top, but I'm getting there.
Good, good, good. Somebody commented, I wonder if the 7 people were her and her 6 children.
Well, it could
Yeah.
be. Absolutely. They're all right here with, no, not John is here with me, but on their love and concern is here with me.
And that person is also saying, in her dream, she was at the top. So you climbed the mountain and you were at the top.
That was the pyramid.
Well,
Yeah.
Mount Pyramid, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then somebody else is saying Leslie Kenny is the founder of Primadine from the USA, but works at Oxford University. I've never heard of that. Have you?
No.
Primadine?
But now we have. See, isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now we have.
Well, that's so good. Well, I am just so glad that you have been healing up so well and taking the time that you needed and resting. And I'm guessing you've not done too many other interviews.
No. This is the first one
Okay.
I have done. Katie, we started this 4 years ago,
I know.
and I'm coming right back.
That is good. Yeah. Um, well, and the exciting thing is that spring is just around the corner. So while maybe you won't be getting back on that tricycle because I know your family is not thrilled with that idea,
Nope.
uh, at least you could be sitting outside in the nice spring air.
Well, I'm walking with my walker outside.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Um, Somebody's saying they're convinced you're a highly sensitive person.
Well, aren't we all?
Yeah. Yes. And the other person that was commenting about the Primadine is saying, you look and sound amazing. Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you.
Somebody also said you were cool. I'm trying to look back. There were a few comments in here, but if anybody has any questions, plop them, put them in the chat really quick, and we will see what. Yeah, I don't see any other comments. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, if anybody has any questions for Dr. Gladys about her healing and and have you been able to get any body work or acupuncture?
I yes, I have Katie. I have a craniosacral a person who does that,
Mm,
and she's been working with me. Yeah.
great. Somebody's asking if you practice light or sound energy healing.
Well, if I'm sure I'm doing it, but not specifically. I have these. I I have my own specific sounds and things that I do use,
Mm.
but you know, they're my own personal things.
Mm-hmm.
And you find what helps you, really, and that's, at least this is what I find. I've found the things that have helped me, and I use them.
Mm. And how about your eating? Have you changed your eating in, I mean, you eat really well anyway, but have you done anything specific?
I I'm dependent on my son. He has to fix me what what he's used to fixing me. My son John, who's still here,
Yep.
yeah, so he fixes me my regular routine
Okay.
dinners, and I can handle those, and that works very nicely. And we figured out that we're a pretty good team.
It seems that way. It does seem that way.
Yeah, yeah.
He just commented, I just gave a copy of your book to my mom. She likes it and is currently reading it.
Oh,
Thank you. Yeah,
great.
it's great.
Yeah. It I'm so pleased that we're able to communicate in this way, which we never, in my wildest dreams, could I have expected to be able to communicate with all of you people the way we are communicating and the way we're sharing our love and our healing. It's
Mm.
awesome. It's just awesome.
Okay, I have a few comments here. One is to you, John. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're Somebody is thanking you. You are a blessing for feeding your mother and taking such good care of her.
How nice.
Somebody wants to know what your favorite meal is, Dr. Gladys.
Well, I have a nice soup at night.
Mm,
It,
nice.
it
Soup is my
yeah, and that
okay.
varies some, but I like soup at night. It's easily digested, and I sleep well.
Right. Okay. And now we have someone saying, Doc, you are indeed a global inspiration. I just turned 50 and looking forward to aging into healthy living. What would you recommend as your top 3 non-negotiables to aging well?
Love, light, and reaching for our true humanity, because we as human beings were given dominion over the earth, and because we're the only creatures on this earth who have the ability to uh, choose and to make opinions. We can choose things, and other living creatures can't. So we can choose the things that we do for Mother Earth and for each other and for ourselves, and we can help heal each other and heal the earth and our own universe as we work towards that healing process for ourselves and for the world around us.
Mm, beautiful. So again, it's that allowing the energy to come in and move through
Right,
and putting it back out
right.
there again. Yeah, that's so great.
Because when you bring it in, you give it life. And
Mm-hmm.
life and love have to move. So as we move through our own being and on to others, that process in itself is living.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, my dear, one last question, and then we are going to let you take a rest of your breathing and your voice. Somebody is asking, Dr. Gladys, I'm glad to hear you are feeling well. You graduated from a conventional medical school. What led you to take a holistic approach to healthcare?
I knew when I was 2 years old that I was a doctor, and I knew that what I was learning in medical school wasn't the whole story. I knew that there was more to it. That's why I got sent to the psychiatrist several times, because I kept asking questions about, but how about love? How about the whole process? How about and you know, reaching for my true humanity?
Mm-hmm.
And as I kept reaching, then we moved into the whole concept of holistic healing. And it took us 2 years to understand how to spell holistic. That had to, not with just the W, it had to be an H. It had to feel, it had to understand that it was health, healing, and holy that had to be incorporated into the healing process if it was truly going to be holistic healing.
So good. So good. All right. Well, I think that I don't want to overstay our welcome here and have you be a little more tired than you need to be. So I think we should sign off, and we will be back next Tuesday. And so I just wish you a beautiful week and more healing coming your way.
And thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Lots of hearts are going up the side of the page, sending love and light. That is for sure.
Thank you,
So
thank you, thank you. Right back at you.
that's right. So go back up to the top of that pyramid one of these dreams and keep sending it out there. Well, we could all visualize that being somewhere. It doesn't even
Yeah,
matter.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
loving energy coming up and through and right back out again.
Right, right.
All right. Well, you have a great week. Continued love and healing to you. And John, you're doing a great job. We all appreciate you.
Thank you.
And
It's my birthday today.
what? Your birthday today?
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys doing?
I don't know. I think I'm 27 or 39 or something.
All right.
He
Well,
lies. He lies.
yeah, hopefully some birthday cake is coming your way.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
Actually, his physician daughter is coming. She's on the plane coming
oh my
here.
God,
Isn't that nice?
that is so nice. Well, that'll be a lovely reunion and a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
She said she would. Don't worry about it, Dad. You're paying for it anyway. So
So funny. Well, I hope you have a great birthday day today,
thank
John.
you. Thank you.
And we will reconnect next week. Love to you both.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Right.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, lots of happy birthdays coming your way.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so good. All right. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.